Daf Samachay. The Gemara discusses a statement of Rav. Homer Rav Karen Kain Shaganav Tashlumei Kefil v'Tashlumei Bava Kama Kishas Hamad Bedin. So the Gemara brings a statement of Rav that the principal payment in a case of a theft is paid according to the value at the time of the theft, and the fines such as kefil or, if necessary, daled v'hei are paid kishas hamad bedin, according to the value of the animal at the time of the court case. So the Gemara goes into a discussion to try to understand what Rav's statement is referring to. Initially, it brings a proof. It brings a reason for why Rav says what he does. The pasuk that he learns this out from is the pasuk that the Gemara was discussing on the previous daf, where it mentions both the term geneva and chayim, to indicate that a stolen object has to be, so to speak, resuscitated to its value at the time of the theft. The question is, again, under what circumstances does Rav say this din? Now, Rav Shesha says it can't be talking about where the thief invested and increased the value of this animal, because then even the fines that the thief pays would have to be according to the time of theft, because he has a reasonable claim. He can say that since I fattened the animal, you have no right to benefit from the work that I invested, from the money that I invested in it. On the other hand, if the thief decreased the animal's worth by overworking it, so that also we would have to say that the thief would have to pay even the fines according to the time of theft, and not according to the time of the court case when the price of the animal went down. Because the owner can say, once you've already started to decrease the value of the animal from the time of theft, what difference does it make if you kill the animal partially or kill it fully? So Rav, the Gemara says that Rav must be talking about in a case where the market price of the animal changed. Now, we can't assume over here that the market price went up, because if the market price went up, then also it wouldn't make sense to say that the thief should benefit from the principal payment and only pay from the time of theft. Because if he, for example, drank a barrel of wine, the Gemara brings an example such as that, which is similar to our case where he slaughtered the animal. He's destroying, he's ruining the victim's money at a time when it's worth more. So therefore, the Gemara concludes that we can only be talking about where it went down in price at the time of the court case. And in there, like let's say, for example, it was worth 4 at the time of the theft, and then it went down to 1 zuz. Now, in that case, he would have to pay the Karen according to the time, the principal according to the time of theft, and the fines according to the time of the court case. Now, the Gemara wants to bring a proof to that point based on a 3-way machlokes concerning a person who stole, a shomer who claimed that the object was stolen from him, the deposit was stolen from him, and he swore to reinforce his claim, and then admitted that he was lying. In that case, the Torah says he has to pay an additional fifth to the principal, plus he has to bring a korban asham. Rabbi Yaakov, one of the three opinions, holds that in that case, it depends. If the value of the kefil and the additional fifth are equal, then the kefil covers the fifth. Now, the question is, how can that be? If one payment is a fifth, chamishis, a fifth mil bar, which means really a quarter more, and the other cost, kefil, is double, how can you ever have the two values the same? So the Gemara attempts to prove that that's really Rav's source of where he knows to divide the payment of the principal for the time of the theft and the fines at the time of the court case. Assuming the price went down, then it would come out that the kefil and the fifth can end up being the same price. However, the Gemara rejects that proof because it says maybe not. Maybe, in fact, the price was the same at the time of the theft and also at the time of the court case. However, it happens to be that the thief went to 4 different courts to make his claim. And each time he was followed by the witnesses who disproved him. So in that case, you could have where the kefil and the fifth were actually the same value.